What is up? It is Paris Tempe, Paris TTMPPED, TTMPPED. I forgot the intro, so I was like, let me just do it now. I'm using my good camera today, so the quality is probably on 10,648. I have a pen in my hand because I was going to write in my handy dandy notebook, but I missed. I'm going to just freeball this because I'm on a really tight time crunch, and I figured why not just get the camera out and just talk about the goddamn topic. Now, today's topic is going to be about depression when you're trans, from a trans guy's perspective. Because, listen, summer's coming to an end. Once my birthday passed, which was August 1st, if you didn't know, but once my birthday goes, the next day is October 5th. And winter depression is a real thing. I don't know how to explain it. Usually when the sun goes away and it gets dark and cold, I start forgetting all of my achievements. I forget who I am, and I start going down this deep spiral of depression. And of course, over the years, I've kind of just gotten a hold of it and realized it's a part of life. And I realized, okay, this mic hopefully works. This mic, I don't know how it's even breaking. Every time I take it out the bag, it looks worse. And I'm like, it's supposed to look like that. So if the audio is fucked up, I'm sorry. Winter depression, I think it's a real thing, and when you are LGBT plus transitioning and when you are on hormones at that, it's almost a guarantee because your body's balancing out. Definitely in the beginning stages. In the beginning stages, I can remember being in a relationship with this one girl and just feeling depressed, and I felt so depressed. I'm like, bro, like, you do not make me happy. I don't know why you're fucking perfect, but right now everything is just wrong. And I didn't know at the time. I was just balancing out my fucking hormones. I was, literally navigating life as a trans guy. Like, that's a lot going on, and now I got a baddie on my hip. Like, it was just a lot going on. So, it was a lot for me mentally, and I ended up throwing away a lot of opportunities indoors because I literally just didn't understand life anymore because I was living in a new reality. I grew up in a reality where nobody wanted me and everything was spitting out, and I had to like crawl to get to the finish line. And then I get to this new reality where it's really just applying myself and just proving that I am who I say I am, and then life will do what it does. And I feel like I didn't know those rules at the time, so I handled it horribly. And instead of me realizing I was growing, I just took it out on myself and became depressed. When me and that girl broke up, I sat in my room for days. I didn't eat, I didn't sleep. My room was getting messier and messier. All I was doing was eating edibles and just going to bed and watching fucking Degrassi. That was a dark fucking period in my life. But one thing I have to say is you have to fill it out. When you're on hormones, when you're developing, when you're finally in a world where you can be yourself, it can feel like everything's wrong. It's going to feel like shit is not adding up. You got to make sure you hang around those friends that see it through. The friends that I'm cool with right now are the niggas that really saw it through when I made no fucking sense. I was having these bipolar episodes, like shit was not hitting the fan, right? And I'm really glad that people understood that we all are human and we all make mistakes. And it's crazy because the way that they perceived me was as myself, and I feel like you need to make sure you're around people that don't point out the fact that you're changing, that let you just fucking go through the motions, and it's just who you are, and it is what it is. And sometimes you might have those people in your life and you could just be overthinking who you are yourself. You could just be overthinking how it's being perceived. Just be yourself. Whether you want to talk to people, whether you want to socialize or be isolated and have your isolated moments, whether you want to overdo it. At one point I just completely cut the fact out that I was trans. I was just in the closet. I didn't want nobody knowing. I just wanted to be in my own world and just be myself. It was a weird time. I was changing my likes and I was just going through this morphing, and because I felt like I was figuring out who I was as this new person. And you have to do the same thing. You have to kind of see it through, because if you don't see it through, you're going to just be growing forever. And you are going to be, it's kind of inevitable. Like, I'm still growing no matter what, but I feel like you just won't be growing in the best way possible. You'll be growing on this unstable path because you keep not realizing that growing is just a part of life. Also, be careful with the music that you listen to. I feel like I was listening to a lot of sad ass music that I liked as a kid, and I was like, it was putting me in a darker place. So I had to kind of come to terms to the fact that I like piano instrumentals. If I put on a piano instrumental, that shit just I feel like I'm in a movie. I feel like I'm in an episode of, like, I don't even know, the most best cinematic motion picture on earth. I feel like I'm in a Studio Ghibli, whatever the fuck it's named. I just feel like I'm in that perfect episode of fucking, I don't even know, like, you ever see that show called The OA? Yeah, I feel like I'm in the OA when I put on some piano instrumentals, and it clears my mind. You might have to detox yourself of all the interests of your past, because you're going to be going through literal emotions that can get triggered by any little thing. One thing I had a friend tell me was that he gets very irritable and he gets frustrated quickly. Yeah, be careful what you listen to. Be careful who you're around. Don't be around people that you don't like, because it's going to be harder to hide it the more confident you get in your emotions. You want to make sure you're around people that you actually like, because, you know, you may have been able to hide it before, but as time goes on, it's just, you know, we're only getting older. So just be mindful of the crowd you're around, because I'm realizing, you know, every day is a day forward, and it's crazy because today feels like 20 years ago. So just be mindful who you are with today, so that your future can zoom by smoothly, rather than you going through even more bumps. Because I feel like at the time when I was younger, I was hanging around a lot of people that made me feel like I had to change myself and didn't get me. And instead of me leaving the environment, I stayed there and would just get mad all the time, have to explain myself and isolate myself, when I'm not like that. I'm actually a very happy fucking person. So if you're fucking changing in the worst way possible, it's probably also your environment, or how you're perceiving your environment and how you think you can be yourself. When I look back now as, you know, a almost mid-20s nigga, I see that a lot of it was mental. I understand that a lot of it is because I didn't believe that I could change. I thought that people weren't perceiving my changing correctly. I thought that people were misunderstanding me. And though some of that was probably true, it didn't have to matter. I made it all matter. So, yeah, don't let things matter as much, because that depression session is going to come and it's going to go. I, to this day, have days where I wake up and I'm like, I don't feel right. And you know what I do? I just move with emotions and I let it be. Don't find a cause. Sometimes you're just going through the emotions because it's in your fucking body. One thing us humans like to do is we have to give it a fucking memory, and then we'll be in this loop in our minds. Fuck that loop, y'all. We got to keep moving forward. The sun is only going to be outside for so long. It's going to be dark later, you know, so we have to just be mindful that take every day like it's a new day, like it's a new possibility. Don't hold as many grudges. You know, I think when I was younger, I would get upset and hold these grudges, and then it'll be a beautiful sunny day outside, but then because of something that happened to me like eons ago, I'm like completely triggered. Everything fucking bothers me and stuff. Like, you have to just be understanding that time don't wait for nobody. Let it go. Keep it stepping, because some of that depression could be just because you're holding a grudge and it's now fucking manifesting in your fucking body. Just saying. Okay, I'm cursing too much. But it's the truth. You gotta just be mindful that anger and hate, definitely of the past, I've heard that every memory changes as time goes on. So 2 days ago, I'm probably distorting the entire day, as they, you know, my mind is deleting things that don't matter. You know, I'm learning new things, so now old things have new meaning. You have to understand that you're always changing, so don't hold a grudge, because you could be actually messing up the memory in itself, and you could be seeing it all wrong, or, you know, you might have actually missed the lesson, so now you're still in it. You know, let it pass, hit that finish line, go to the next level, because that's what life is about, leveling up. And, you know, I know this is like a kind of a positive way of seeing depression, but I'm learning that depression is human. You know, some days I wake up and my cat, she just be sad as hell. Like, I look over at her and we see it as sadness, but I think she's just content in the nothingness of everything. You know, she just be chilling there looking all like, And, you know, that's just that. You know, in the next moment, she's zooming around. She's chasing the stuffed mouse in her mouth, and she's jumping off walls, and the next thing you know, she's asleep. You know, that's just how we have to be. We have to realize that's a part of the emotion. Don't let it defeat you, okay? Because definitely if you're going through this transition to find yourself, and then you go through this natural effect, which is emotion, don't let that don't let finding yourself make you end up losing yourself even worse, or going through this deeper, darker depression. Don't find things to hate about yourself. You have to love yourself wholeheartedly. You have to go through this journey knowing that it's going to take you on another journey that feels exactly like the one you're on right now. There's going to be new obstacles, new goals. It's only going to keep going. So if you don't just appreciate where you are right now, you're going to be living your life continuously trying to find something that's right there. You know, everything is everything. But that's another day. That's another episode of a vibe broadcast. Now, you see, I've really been hesitant on just being myself on this channel. I don't know why. I think it's because, you know, I guess for the longest time, I've hung around people that don't talk like I do, that don't think like I do. And if you can think that that's kind of how the whole world is. But then I'm watching this fucking podcast with Cynthia and Jay Shetty, and they're talking just like me for an hour fucking straight. And I'm like, that's my entire mindset. If I could, I would yap my mouth off to y'all and force you to hear an hour of my fucking mindset. But I have to go to work. But that's another episode of a vibe broadcast, because my mind is a vibe and I want to take y'all on it. But anyway, as you know, I'm always going to say it, my website is up for y'all to see my personality outside of this episode, outside of these videos. I will be posting on it a lot more frequently. It will be my main social media place where I do a lot of things and post my personality, because I feel like y'all deserve more. My store is up. Everyone put in the comment section, I think her name is Esha, Esha, I think. She was my first customer ever, and I'm so grateful for her. Thank you so much. You have shown me that I can do this, y'all. When I tell y'all, I don't got a dime to my name, so y'all just watching my videos, hitting that like button, and just showing up does me so much justice, and it shows me to keep fucking pushing, because soon my life will be different. But for now, I got my crystal in my pocket. Oh shit, I thought the camera went off. I have a new song called Slow Your Roll, I Don't Think You Got Control. Slow your roll, listen to your friends, oh. Slow your roll, don't think you got control. Is this really how you rock, this how you roll? Please go stream it. It's one of my favorite songs I've ever made in my entire life. I've been bumping to it every fucking day because it's been stuck in my head. Hopefully it'll be stuck in your heads. I'm going to be playing it all the time so that we can be both vibing to it at the same time. If y'all want to do this Q&A with me, go to my website and type in that email box. Send me a message, any questions, comments, or concerns, and I'll be answering it in the Q&A, which I'll be posting very soon. Once I hit like 20-30 questions, I'll do the video. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Until then, I'll see y'all soon.